This video will go over the contents of the GT1000 Summer Remote Course Shell. This is for remote courses, so if you're teaching residential, please watch that overview instead. So in the shell, I've created this basic homepage that is just a brief intro to the class. Feel free to change this and make it more in your voice or however you want it to be. You will definitely need to change this part highlighted in yellow, which is where you will put your course day and time and a link to your BlueJeans class meeting. I have this shell organized by modules, one for each class session, so there's a link to modules here. There's also a link to the syllabus, which you will see is blank other than this note at the top. You'll need to upload your syllabus, or you can copy and paste it here, whichever you prefer. Just click on the edit button in the top right to make those changes. You'll also see this list of assignments. These are all the assignments in the shell that students will need to complete. You can see that they are in alphabetical order because none of them have due dates. You will need to manually add due dates to all assignments that align with the dates your course meets. Once you add the due dates, these assignments will be arranged in chronological order here on the syllabus, which is helpful for students because they can then easily see if they have something coming up due. The other thing that shows up here is how the grading groups are weighted, each category being worth 25% of the final grade in this course shell. This should reflect whatever grading breakdown you have on your syllabus. Okay, so let's go back to the home page and then click on modules. You can also click on modules on the left side menu as well. So we are now in the modules area, and you can see that this site starts with a pre-work module. This includes a short lesson created by CETL, the Center for Teaching and Learning, that gives students some pointers on how to succeed in remote classes. And there is also a brief survey, also created by CETL, which asks students to respond to some questions like what time zone they are in, what technology they have access to, how many other online classes they're taking, etc. It's just a good way to get a general feel for where your students are, both in terms of their time zones, as well as technology and their course load. Next, we have a module with class resources, including the link for the bi-weekly class meetings. You'll need to go in and update this link, as the link I use for the shell is just the main BlueJeans site. Next, we have some class FAQs, which you'll also need to update a bit for your section in the highlighted areas. You can change other things in here as well, but the yellow highlighted bits are the sort of must-change parts. There's also a discussion board here called Class Q&A, and this is just a place for students to ask general basic questions about the class. Your TL can moderate this board and answer any basic questions or refer tougher questions to you. Lastly, there is a link to the online textbook. Okay, after that, we have the various class session modules. Because there are only 9 class sessions this summer, I just went ahead and gave every session its own module, so students know what they need to do for every class meeting. You might not love this and might want to organize your class another way, and that's fine too. This is just what works best for me when I teach remote classes, since it helps me keep track of what to do when, and it helps students to clearly see what they should be working on for each class. So the first class is just asking them to review the course syllabus. They will need to click on that, and there will be an option to mark as done. That's the one item they need to complete. Up next is the first discussion board, which just asks them to introduce themselves. Again, make whatever changes work best for you. Don't feel like you have to keep everything exactly like this. You can see that each module has various things like readings or links to short videos or assignments that need to be turned in. As I mentioned before, you will need to go into the assignments and give each one a due date. There are also 3 discussion boards in this shell: the intro, a second one. There are also 3 discussion boards in this shell: the introduction post, a second one it's suggested that you make related to your Ignite theme, and then a final one that's a reflection. Once again, feel free to change these if you want, but do go in and make sure you give them a due date. You can also see that some of the assignments have rubrics attached. This degree map, for example, just has a very basic rubric, but it's how you can grade easily and students will be able to see it. To give you a quick overview of how students will submit things, once they click on an assignment, they will see the Start Assignment button, so they just click on that and can submit the assignment from there. Another thing to note is that you might want to go in and specify file types for the assignments. The good thing about doing this is that students won't be able to upload some random file type that your computer or Canvas can't read. I usually just default to PDF, doc files, RTF, or sometimes an Excel or CSV file if they're uploading a spreadsheet. Okay, let's go back to the home page. As you can see, I've hidden a bunch of stuff in the navigation menu, but you can make changes to that if you want. It looks like I've hidden announcements, but I haven't. It just looks hidden since I haven't posted an announcement. As soon as one is posted, this area will be visible to students as well. Next, we'll look at the assignments area. I have this hidden in the shell since students can see all the assignments via the syllabus page or in the modules, so they don't need to click on assignments. But you can always make it visible if you want. So in the assignments area, I have grouped all assignments into one of 4 groups, each one worth 25% of the final grade. I'd like to do the weighted grading, as that makes Canvas do most of the math in terms of grade calculations. But again, you can ungroup assignments or change point values or weights if you want. Just make sure that what you have in Canvas matches what you have on your syllabus. One thing I haven't published on here is the weekly participation grade. There's actually not an easy way to keep weekly track of participation grades in Canvas, so I just have this unpublished so the students won't see it and get confused. And at the end of the semester, you can just put in a grade here based on weekly participation and attendance throughout the semester, and then publish it so the students can see it. If you go to the Grades tab, you'll see that all the assignments are already here, and so are the weighted assignment groups. So there you have it, an overview of the 2021 GT1000 Summer Remote Course Shell.